Metabolic pathways have been compared to roadways as depicted on road maps. And if that's the case, then the pentose phosphate pathway has got to be one of the more interconnected roadways that we find inside of cells. The pentose phosphate pathway is a very important component of carbohydrate metabolism, having multiple inputs and outputs, as we shall see. Two of the steps of the pentose phosphate pathway are oxidative in nature, and they synthesize about 60% of the cell's NADPH. NADPH, of course, is necessary for making bigger and important molecules. The pentose phosphate pathway generates intermediates for other pathways as well. A very important one is ribose 5-phosphate, which is needed for making nucleotides. Erythrose 4-phosphate is necessary for making aromatic amino acids and aromatic amino acid metabolism. And NADPH, as I noted, is important for synthesizing both fatty acids and other molecules that the cell may need. NADPH is also needed to keep the important antioxidant glutathione reduced and protect the cell from reactive oxygen species. So it contains numerous intermediates of glycolysis and gluconeogenesis, and this provides for a lot of the pathway's flexibility, as we shall see. Now, one of the enzymes of the pentose phosphate pathway is also used in the Calvin cycle, and it's known as transketolase. An important thing to realize about the pentose phosphate pathway is that unlike the way it's commonly taught, the pathway doesn't really have a start or an end. You will see endpoints, but those endpoints are connected to other pathways, and there are multiple points of entry into the pathway, and we'll see some examples of that. The pentose phosphate pathway occurs exclusively in the cytoplasm of cells. The 10 intermediates of the pentose phosphate pathway are depicted in this figure. Now, I've put them into several groups based upon their sort of commonality. The first group are 3 intermediates from the pathway of glycolysis: glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. The next 2 intermediates are important in other pathways: ribose 5-phosphate, as I noted, for nucleotide metabolism, and erythrose 4-phosphate for making aromatic amino acids. The next 3 are relatively unusual, relatively rare sugars that aren't found too much outside the pentose phosphate pathway and include ribulose 5-phosphate, xylulose 5-phosphate, and cetoheptulose 7-phosphate. And the last 2 are sugar derivatives that are pretty much found only in the pentose phosphate pathway.